Alright, the focus student that I chose is a 7-year-old boy. He has one younger sister, lives with his mom and dad, and there's no other signs of autism in the family. B does not have any other health issues, but dad has recently started having seizures. Parents reported to me that B is a little low functioning, but has a lot of language, is having a hard time using it appropriately. He will show that he's upset, and he'll engage in mild SIB. So he will also engage in SIB, self-injurious behaviors, when he's overstimulated or doesn't want to do something that he's been told to do. He also engages in this behavior if there's loud or unexpected noises. To reduce SIB at home, the parents have been using a PECS choice board. They keep several icons around the house to prompt his language. They also block the behavior as much as possible, but they're still seeking for help since the behavior has not completely gone away. He's shown interest in Play-Doh, balls, and a rice bucket at home. B has a lot of great skills, but he has to be prompted to engage in them functionally. I chose to focus on decreasing his self-injurious behaviors. So the operational definition that I wrote was anytime B uses his hand or arm with an open or closed fist to hit, make a forceful physical contact to any part of his head. This form of SIB is not forceful enough to leave marks on his head. So the assessment report, the assessment delivered included the ABC data from the teachers, the MAS, and the direct observation of the child. That was done in the classroom and at home. The ABC data collected shows that the behavior is probably being maintained by access to tangible items and escape from demands. The MAS showed that the access to tangible items is most likely the function of behavior. During my direct observations and reading through my notes, it suggested that SIB is being mostly maintained by access to tangible items, but could also be maintained by escape. After reviewing all of the data together, the behavior seems to be maintained by access to tangibles and also escape from tasks. So during the intervention plan, the teachers are going to prompt the learner to use a replacement behavior, the PECS icon. So they'll begin with a prompt that ensures errorless learning. So they'll use the intrusive enough to guarantee the use of the replacement behavior. So there'll be two PECS icons being used, one for a break from task and also one for his top reinforcer, which is Play-Doh. Reinforcement is not going to be delivered for the interfering behavior, which is the SIB. All teachers consistently provide immediate reinforcement in response to the replacement behavior. So each time that B uses his PECS icons, he's going to be immediately reinforced with what he's wanting, either that be escape from the task or access to his Play-Doh. Eventually we're going to fade the use of prompt so that B becomes more independent in using his replacement behaviors instead of engaging in SIB. So an example of one of the data sheets is below. So we use partial interval data from throughout his day from 8 to 3, and we just put a plus or minus if he engaged in SIB in that interval. So at the graph shows that his baseline was pretty high, around 45% of his day he was engaging in SIB. That was during baseline. When we implemented the treatment, it immediately decreased down to about the 20% range of his day, and it is decreasing steadily during his treatments. We did have one day where he engaged in 0% of SIB during his day. With that being said, I believe that the intervention was very successful for this student. For the treatment I used a checklist for treatment integrity. It was taken daily by the student teacher, and I retrieved that weekly. So the treatment integrity data was collected to see if the teacher was following the implementation of the intervention successfully. After reviewing the checklist, it showed that the teacher was successfully implementing the intervention with about 90% average for all of the sessions. So for future goals, maintenance and generalization, I'm going to send the effective treatment plan to parents, future teachers, principals to show them the data and what's successful for B. I will also train parents and future professionals on how to correctly implement and maintain the behavior if necessary. To maintain SIV at a low rate, I plan to slowly fade out the intervention in order to maintain the skill over time. Having the parents use the same technique will show results in generalization to other people and places. So that is all.